Okay, now we'll see how this goes. Okay, so as you know, I cut them up randomly when I feel like running my mouth. Okay, and so here I am. I feel like running my mouth again. Okay, just observations of things I see in general. You know, we got a lot of people saying because of the invisible enemy will become attached to your currency that they'll have to replace it with digital currency, okay, cryptocurrency. And I say, not necessarily. Nope, don't even have to be that necessarily because the other scenario is right in your face. Lumber shortages. Let's see, we had metal shortages, and oh no, we got electronics. Okay, so we have metal shortages for the electronics. We have shortages still going on with food. We've had shortages of toilet paper, paper towel. Let's see. And if I start running through the list of different shortages just from 2020 forward, okay, you know, it's like water. We got a water shortage. Let me tell you something. If you really look into things, you find out that the planet Earth is considered a water planet. There's not a lot of planets out there in the galaxy that are considered water planets. The Earth is considered a water planet, and it sustains life that other planets couldn't have because they're not a water planet, and it naturally creates its own water. Okay, there's never a shortage of water. It's impossible. Okay, but you got poison water because of human beings. You got chemtrails poison in the skies. You got pesticides, Monsantos, and bears, and big pharma in your water. Okay, so they're all, I mean, it's all messed up. But the earth naturally filters the water, so anything coming up out of the earth that's been filtered by the earth is absolutely fresh, drinkable water. And it's all over the earth, but they're going to tell you that we're overpopulated, a lie, another lie, and that we're running out of things that we're not running out of, that they've been man engineered to be short of. And if you pay attention right now, nobody's talking about the price of lumber. Oh, and that's because there's a lumber shortage. Okay, well, you know, there'll be some truth to some of that lumber shortage. I'll tell you why there'll be some truth to it. Because from the poisons that's been being sprayed over your head for 20, 30 plus years from geoengineering, the aluminum in the sky, and the barium and the other things that's been sprayed on our heads. Well, it gets into the soil of the ground and it's gotten into the roots of trees. And during these fires that we saw through half of America last year, we had trees that were literally exploding and burning from the inside out because that aluminum became hot. And the aluminum is in the roots and set the trees ablaze from the inside out. So, and it's also killing the trees, so you have record numbers of trees dying. So there is truth, but it's all being man done. It's all being done right under your nose by your military industrial complex. And you see the title I gave to the stream. Lumber shortage equals paper shortage equals electronic currency. Yep, they don't have to tell you that they're going to have the invisible bug on your money. Nope, they sure don't. because this has all been engineered. It's deliberately done. When human beings stop destroying the planet by killing people for their own selfish greed, but you're not going to stop doing that now. It's all about selfishness. It's all about greed. Nobody wants to take responsibility for anything, and they all want to do something unto somebody else that they would want done unto themselves. The more and more I look around me, the more and more I realize I live in a nut farm. One flew over the cuckoo's nest is nothing. Nothing at all, man. That was just peanuts compared to what we're living in now. And you ain't got to be locked into the mental institution to be a member of the the mental ward, because the entire planet's covered full of mental ward right out in public, right in front of us, everywhere we go. It's just beyond me, man. And the tool, oh my God, the tool, yeah, your money, yeah, that's the tool. Anybody that knows me knows when I'm talking about the tool, I'm talking about money. And there's the institution, the tool institution, that's allowed all this to happen. It's made it possible for us to step on each other's face, for us to want to genocide one another, for us to be divided, and for all of these evil plans that are for real, that ain't no like a dang conspiracy theory, they're conspiracy fact. You can't get around that it's conspiracy fact because it's playing out in your face. And if you're still unable to see it playing out in your face, or still too lazy to go look and read and then pay attention to what's going on around you, then there's no help for you. You are part of the problem. See, we're at the time right now where you're either going to be part of the problem or you're part of the cure. And you have to choose which path you want to go down. And there's only two roads. You can't excuse yourself now, it's too far along. Nope. There ain't no, well, I'm not involved. Nope, then you're part of the problem. You've made your choice, then you're part of the problem. So when you're falling off the cliff to your very own death, and you lose all of your freedoms and all of your everything, I want you to look in the mirror and remember yourself, this is what you wanted. I want you to tell yourself this is what you wanted. You know, they suck you really good. Listen, like the Tesla cars. Telling you we're running out of something that once again is naturally created by the earth that has the name of petroleum. That they renamed petroleum to fossil fuel, which there's no such thing as. That's a cartoon, a fantasy, a fairy tale. Okay? Because fossil is that of bones. You're not going to tell me dead dinosaur bones and dead animals' bones creates our crude oil. Get over yourselves, you nut jobs. And anybody that believes that hocus pocus that's being fed to you has some seriously don't have any kind of processing or critical thinking skills whatsoever. On a serious note. But when it comes down to reality, and it slaps you in the face, and you look around you, you figure out real quick, human beings are their own self-destruction right now. And you're going to kill each other off until there's nobody left on this planet through your own selfishness and your own greed. Because you allowed a handful of psychopaths to control you. Because you became scared and yellow. I mean, I have one of these freak out videos. To mention smooth streaming. Oh. So YouTube is having errors, are they? Yeah, they've been doing that a lot recently. I think these errors probably have something to do with censorship. Okay, they wouldn't like what I'm talking about. I'm sure. You know, that's the way it is when you're crooked, when you're corrupt for the tool. You don't want anybody to realize that you're a piece of, you know what, okay? Because you need the tool until you fall to your death saying it won't be me. And of course it'll be you. Well, you think there's going to be survival on a planet that's acting the way this one's acting? What kind of fairy tale or cartoon are you living in? I mean, I hope that I'm still alive. It just says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience buffering. Well, if they're going to experience buffering, there's not much I can tell you about that. Because this has been happening to everybody where there's no problem on their end. This problem isn't on my end. This is a deliberate manipulation tool to censor people who are talking about things they don't want other people to hear. And these technocrats know that. But this is their next little mind game they're going to play to show you how deliriously out of their minds they are for the tool. The very thing that's going to get you dead, that is being used to kill you. No, we gotta have our money to live, Bill. Like I don't know this. That's because the system is set up that you work for money and this is how you live is off that money. The system is also set up that success is waged off of that money. And relationships and people in society is all based on that money, that tool. This is why it's the tool. It's also because we created a hierarchy to go with it, okay? And created more division and hatred and created homelessness and starvation. Yeah, we created all that. That's all man created. Sure is. Okay, and there you are. You're looking at it right in your face. So I throw in the next scenario in your face. I mean, let's look at what's going on with the fraudulent cyber attack. Yeah. That's being blamed on who? As we replay history once again. If you're buffering, type and just tell me you're buffering. I mean, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about to fix the problem because I guarantee the problem ain't on my side. Way too many people are experiencing this problem. Yep, that's for sure. Not much I can do about that. I'm just telling you, man, I'm annoyed. I'm just a little bit annoyed over what I'm seeing. The facts are is it's so in your face right now. And there was a freak out video I seen the other day. And they're mocking there. In other words, they're using this video to make fun of people who are freaking out. But you had this guy standing, it was either in a Costco or Sam's, with no mask on, pissed off and screaming, and he wasn't that old of a guy. He was a young guy, he's middle-aged, maybe 30s, and he's screaming, pissed off, and telling people to take that damn mask off. And asked, where did the real men go? He says, what happened in this country? What happened to America? Where are the real men? Can't you see tyranny when it's in your face? He said this. He says, you're going to be screaming for guys like me because you're getting fixed to lose everything. That's correct. He's right. You're getting fixed to go to war again, which war's never stopped anyhow, with the government that's not even your enemy because the governments are working together to pit the people against the people, to kill the people against the people, to kill the people for population reduction, to finish bringing in what they want to bring in Sustainable development. That's right. A great new reset. That's right. To go green. Well, they all stand for NWO. Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2040 and 2050. All equal the same thing. See how many names I just gave you for one thing? The shortages? No. You're going to have a legit lumber shortage, but I don't think the lumber shortage at this point is legit. But it's going to become legit. Watch and see. Last year you would have lost a lot of lumber. Sure would have. Like almost half of the west coast of the United States was on fire. And by the way, that was your woodlands. Okay, and the trees are filled full of aluminum in the roots, which they are. I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, poison ground gets into poison meat with the animals, with the deer and the other game you're hunting. The chemicals that they're spraying on our head. They eat, these animals eat this, you hunt it, you shoot it, you kill it, you eat the meat that this shit's embedded into. You furtherly poison yourself and don't even know you are. You water your fish in, becomes contaminated and poisoned, and you're eating fish that are poisoned, don't even know you are. Do I need to go on and on and on with the list I can give you of things that's happening to you? And you still don't want to stand up. You still don't want to just simply say no and stop complying. Stop complying. Stop complying. Take off the mask. That guy wasn't wrong. That guy wasn't somehow wrong. He was right. What happened to all the real men? And I'm also going to throw women in because, after all, women do want equality, right? The women spent many years loving their pedestal as powers to be divided, the genders, and your society placed women on a pedestal. And they made victims out of women without women knowing it nor men knowing it while they were attacking the men. So if I can go 40 years plus that the men was attacked in this country and all over the world, and nobody lifted a finger. But I can tell you 10 years ago, if I would have made a Karen video shaming women, I would have been attacked by every single guy and woman abroad. My video would have been removed. My channel would have been removed. But not today. That's because we're at the end stages of all this going green, you know? Falling off the cliff. Getting ready to go to your own death as you repeat history. And the Tesla cars, I'll tell you what, see, this is conditioning. And these people that are buying these Tesla cars, well, they're like, look at me, man, I got a Tesla car. Yeah, man, I got a Tesla car. I don't have to go to the gas station. Yep. See, that's what they want for everybody. Because with a Tesla car, you're locked down. That's right. With a Tesla car, you are locked down. I want you to go from New York to California on a Tesla car. Come on, give it a try. I'll make it simpler. Why don't you go from New York to Iowa in a Tesla car? Or Illinois, Chicago, okay? New York to Chicago. Just try it out. See how it works out for you. The reality is we've sat back and allowed our real enemy to divide the genders, destroy the family unit, to shape all of our beliefs and all of our behaviors. We all grew up in the same society, went to the same school systems that was being running controlled by the same entities that was controlling the media and Hollywood. Your social engineering was successful because all of your beliefs was shaped off of your social engineering. Knowledge is power. The problem is you was only given a little dinky matchbox with just a few grains of sand in it for knowledge. Because most knowledge is withheld. You know, you can live to be 70, 80, 90, 100 years old, and you'll never know everything because that's how much knowledge there is. Nobody will ever know everything. This world's a big school. There's always more to be learned. Always. It don't use knowledge is what holds people back. It's called lack of knowledge. And lack of knowledge causes people to not be able to see clearly what's playing in their face. And it is so clear to what is playing in people's face. And when I'm telling you lumber shortage equals paper shortage, where do you think paper comes from? Comes from wood, which comes from trees. Yes, paper comes from wood. Without the trees, you also have less oxygen. Ah, I bet they forgot to tell you that. And if we want to make somebody believe that they're overpopulated and the earth can't keep up with their oxygen, it's simple. We'll remove trees and we'll remove grass and we'll remove farms and shit from around cities or towns. Once we get the trees gone, the grass gone, and gravel lawns, your oxygen level in these areas will become low. Because what created the oxygen you removed from your area. Like a bunch of numbskull brains. You followed your orders for the tool, I know. You had to have the tool because you couldn't live without it. And you know what's even funnier? Watching all of these fakes online pretending to speak out against this corruption. Meanwhile, they have to have the tool. You have to keep going to the very people who are doing this from you for their tool. You're basically holding the people's hands who are taking all of your rights from you and want to kill you, that plan on leading you over the cliff, and you're taking them by the hand and just holding their hand and walking along with them. And when they're through with it, you'll be falling over the cliff. Basically, that's what people are doing. Even your so-called proofers are doing that very thing. Yep, gotta have money, gotta have donations in order to talk about these topics. In order to bring this to you guys, I need your donations. You can get me over here, and you can donate to me here, and you can this, and you that, yeah, guys. Oh, give me a super chat. Yo, thank you guys. I really appreciate that too. That's all owned and controlled by the people who are doing this to you. See, they have actually failed you. They own, run, and control the tool. They print it. They tell you nobody's ever going to own it because they don't give it to nobody. They only borrow it with interest. They never print the interest, by the way. But they borrow it to you, but they do give you forgiveness for perishables. And, you know, things like food and water. But they don't give you forgiveness for anything else. So you worked your tail off for 40 years to buy that house and that car and never owned it because you bought it with borrowed money. That's right. The people you allow, though, in your monetary system to own that car of yours, that house of yours. And they'll come in and take it back anytime they feel. But don't worry, you own nothing and you'll be happy. You think they're joking. They're not. See, the laugh will be on you guys, the people out here, you women, you guys, who want to believe that it's a joke, that they're not serious, that nobody would ever do that. See, all of you fools are just exactly that, fools, idiots. The zombie apocalypse was quite real. I've been living in it. Told you I live in a nut house. One flew a cuckoo's nest ain't got nothing on us. That movie wasn't intense enough. Should have had a gigantic. I mean, that's what we live in. We live in a big, big, round, flat, square, triangle, rectangle, Earth. There you go. I gave you a whole bunch. I might as well. We got 100 genders now, guys. Did you know that? Yep. We got 100 genders. I wonder how that works, man. I suppose there's a country song called She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy. You know that old country western song, She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy? Well, since there's 100 genders, I think I choose to be a tractor. That way she'll think I'm sexy. What do you, I mean, you know, this is how insane of a world we live in. Well, they're actually trying to tell people there's 100 genders. Okay, maybe there is. We have grass. We have trees. We have lots of different plants. We have different fish. We have different animals in the zoos. Okay, yeah, okay. Maybe them are all genders, huh? I just don't recall anybody getting married to a watermelon plant or a cucumber plant. Yeah. Oh, they wanted the man-eating plant, the fly-eating plant, you know. They wanted that plant. Oh, somebody wanted corn. Oh, they wanted the corn, yeah. They get some lube with that too, right? But you see, I gave the live stream the name I gave it because it fits exactly another scenario. There don't have to be an invisible enemy on the tangible money at all. If you start looking to see shortages that have been reported from 2020 forward, you're going to freak. Because you're going to find a big list that you never expected to find. For real. None of this is an accident. This has all been man-engineered. It's not from overpopulation. There ain't no lie, no such thing as truth anymore. Everybody loves lies. Everybody hates truth. Everything's verted upside down on its head for real. See, I'm not the one that's insane when I'm saying this. Anybody that says I'm telling BS is the one that's out of their damn mind. But most of you think it's all a game, right? It's fun. It's a mind game. Yeah, it's a game. It's a game when you're falling over the cliff to your death. The game will be, do you get to land on your head first or your feet? You gotta try to land on your feet, guys. You're gonna be falling off the world's tallest cliff with jagged, sharp-edged boulders at the bottom. That's right. Everywhere, all over the place by the billions, piled on top of each other even. That's how many rocks will be down there. And you're gonna be falling and falling and falling and falling and falling and falling. And then you're going to finally have a sudden stop on jagged, sharp rocks. And you're all in a hurry to go there. You're all holding on to your owner's hand. He's walking you there right now. And all you got to do is take the final plunge because it's for your health. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but say that because it's for your health. It's for the better of your health. I know I sound totally nuts now, don't I? To say that walking over a cliff and falling and falling and falling and landing on sharp, jagged rocks, okay, is for the better of your health. But it might as well be. Look around you. Yo, how many of you are wearing your diaper on your face? How many of you paid attention to anything that I've ever said? How many of you took the time to go look for yourself of the guys in the manosphere? How many of you still keep drinking the Kool-Aid and really blame the Jews for everything? How many of you think it's only Jews? And then somehow if you wipe out the Jews, you wipe out the problem. I guess it's about the same amount of people used to think it was only the blacks, and the same as now it's only the white. That's right. Now it's the white guys. You know, it was the white before, now it's the black, then it was the black, then it was the Mexicans, then it was the Asian, then it was this, then it was that. You know, we're all busy drinking the Kool-Aid and going along with the stage show and pointing our fingers at one another like they want us to. And we're all busy calling each other names and fighting each other and over fluffing stuff and my opinion and oh, your opinion hurt my little feelers. It's like watching these auditor videos and watching the public freaking out over somebody standing over the camera. You know, I'll be standing there in a post office and I'll have cameras all over the goddamn walls pointing down on them. And they'll be freaking out or somebody's got a camera. Or they're on a public walk, you know, doing nothing, saying nothing to nobody, and they're freaking out, flipping out, and having a heart attack. I mean, oh my God, they're dangerous. They're armed with a camera. Unbelievable. That's the behavior I'm witnessing, man. I'm telling you. It's we live in one flew of the cuckoo's nest times a billion. I don't know, how do you help people who don't help themselves? Well, by watching them walk over the cliff and fall to their death and cry and scream and be scared shitless on their way down, not figuring out how they got there. A good other good word is all you agents out here, you know who you are, too. All you employees of the establishment, whether it's Homeland Security, whether it's NSA, whether it's NASA, whether it's the United Nations, whether it's Google, Apple, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Employ the establishment up here online for money, watching everybody's moves, spying on people, collecting all of everything they ever said. Yeah. Lying your fucking tails off for somebody who owns the tool, who created all the organizations, all of the entities that I just said. Yep, people who own the tool created all these entities. And they gave you all these entities, man. I was watching this Johnny 5 or whatever you call it, Johnny 1 or whatever. He's an auditor. And it was funny. He was trying to call about a cop that vandalized somebody's car in their garage. Okay, and then about a mayor who was involved as well as corruption and blah, 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 and finds out the mayor was supposedly arrested. And he starts making all these calls to find out. He called the police station in the town that the mayor got arrested in and find out that the law enforcement agencies in that little small town with the mayor that got arrested said they told him on the phone as he called him that we didn't make the arrest. And he said, well, do you know what agency did? And he says, yeah, Homeland Security. So then he's trying to dig around to find Homeland Security, and he finally gets over, and it goes to a wrong number, and he finally gets the right number, and he gets over Homeland Security. Oh, no, 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 no. That would be over there at the goddamn Freeburg State Trooper's office, State Patrol's office, blah, blah, blah. So he calls there, and they send him back to the local cop shop. So there you go. That reminds me of calling and trying to freaking expose Mr. Fauci in video 4 years before the invisible bug. No, I already knew what my results was going to be, but I just wanted to test how correct I was. And I had to thank the establishment for proving me 100% spot right. I started with my local police department. The minute I said Anthony Fauci's name, the cops said, "Oh, no, we can't do anything about that. You have to get hold of the sheriff's department," and hung up. Okay, first chicken, Brock, Brock. Okay, next, call the sheriff's department. Sheriff's department says, "No, that we couldn't do anything about that. You have to get a hold of the state crime unit." Oh, I says, "There's a state crime unit?" And he says, "Yes." He says, "You can Google it, look it up. Iowa State Crime Unit. You can call them." So that's what I did. I Googled it. I found them, called them, and the fucking number answers Fusion Center. And I says, "Go, yeah, that's right, man. I'm going to Fusion Center." So that's the state crime unit. Well, when I brought up that famous name again, well, you have to get a hold of your local police department. We can't do anything about that here. Bink. Oh, man. The loop. I'm stuck in a loop. So I says, "Okay, hold on. I'll get a hold of the feds, the FBI." So I looked up Federal Bureau of Investigation, State of Iowa, got the number and called it. And the number answered Fusion Center. It wasn't even the same number as the other one. Same person on the phone once again. I was like, "Oh, yep, that's right." And this is what was happening to this auditor who was trying to find out who arrested the mayor. He was getting the loop. The loop. You know what that tells me? The mayor wasn't arrested. That it's another gigantic fucking hoax psyop. We have hundreds and hundreds of psyops being played at one time right now. Believe it or not, we do. We literally do. And we got employees of the establishment all over the place on the net. All for the what? The tool. And a lot of them are up here pretending and telling you how they're trying to fight back and they only want what's right and blah, 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 blah. And meanwhile, I mean, my biggest favorite example recently has been High Impact Flicks. Oh, yeah. Guaranteed is employed establishment, no different than Jason Burmis or Alex Jones. You know, High Impact Flicks is right in that level, man. He's right there, man. You know, and I have nothing against somebody making a living, but when I've heard this guy literally say, "Guys, if I don't get donations, I don't know how much longer I can be here to even make any videos." Okay? And what he speaks about is what everybody should be speaking about for free. But no, it's not for free to him, guys. And you can donate to me over here, and oh, you can buy my flashlight, you can buy my software, you can buy my this, you can buy my that, you can buy me this, and buy my that, and buy my shirts, and buy my that. Okay? Yep, that's High Impact Flicks. That's also Alex Jones. That's also Tattoo. Yeah, I can think of a few people online that are that way, but see, these people are employees of the establishment for the tool. They can't tell you that. They ain't about the. It's just no different than first. Guarantee the guy works for the United Nations. Take it to the bank. He's an employee of the establishment. And what is he doing it for? He's young, naive, and perfect patsy to use the tool so he can look down on you because, oh yeah, well, you make this much, man, you're above somebody else, you're smarter than somebody else based on a man-made construct. And I can go around and lie to everybody and be a complete hypocrite and play games and troll people and put pornography in Steve Hoker's live stream and he in the background, yep. And nobody will know it's me. Yep, that's first. I'll never change my mind on that because I already know who the guy is. I can show you a whole bunch of them. I guarantee you, man. I'll go with what Adam said. There's probably 5.5 million employees of the establishment online worldwide. Yep, I would agree with that. All for the tool because the system was set up that you have to have what to survive? Yeah, money. Who owns all the monies worldwide? Oh my God, it's the same names again. The same names keep coming up worldwide. Oh, you think that's an accident, huh? The only cure is to take the monetary system back. So I got the cure. When they tell you they've crashed the dollar, the stock market falls and they tell you they crashed it, and they want to give you the new cryptocurrency, you have to flat out say you're fired. You abused the monetary system when you had it in control in your hands. You created a hierarchy. You divided the people. You've used it for evil purposes. And now you failed miserably and crashed it. No, you don't own it no more. Matter of fact, because you've done so much harm, we're taking everything you have and giving it back to the people. We're locking you up, and we're taking the monetary system back globally. And we're collapsing the hierarchy, we're collapsing the governments, and we're taking all of these scumbags that went along with it for the tool and locking them up. And then we're going to have our great reset. But this great reset will be the people's reset, our reset. Then we're going to start teaching real truth again. And we're going to stop lying to one another and trying to outdo one another. You know, somebody like me, if I was alive, be in charge of something like that, I'd make sure it was fair for everybody. I'd do away with so much division your head would fall off. There'd be no more of this childish behavior, ungrown up behavior that we're witnessing globally. That's why I laugh at adults when they're telling children fucking to grow the hell up when they failed to grow up themselves. You ain't got no room to tell your child to grow up. You never grew up yourself. That's men and women alike. And I hate to say stuff like that, but I'll tell you what, man, I've screamed a lot of stuff for a lot of years. I was told I was nuts. I was told I was this. I was told I was that. And I've missed on a few things, but I have more come right than I've ever missed on. And I told people 10, 11 years ago that we were repeating history, that Nazi Germany was playing out here in America. Nobody wanted to believe me. Now you got people all over the place seeing it. You even have people who live over in Germany recognizing history and screaming because they're seeing what's going down over there. And what's happening over there is happening worldwide. And it's the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany. See, what happened at the end of World War II is Nazi Germany moved to America. And then it branched out, went global. That's right. Nazi Germany moved to America, branched out, went global, and now you're all witnessing with Nazis in every country here. Pretending the battle is something that don't exist. All lying their tails off to you to make the tool. To make the tool. So they could be above somebody else, have a better card than somebody else, a better this than somebody else, a better that than somebody else. And with absolutely no care, we'll step on their face. And all our selfishness will just keep going and going and going and going and going. No, it's running out for you. And you're just unable to see it, aren't you? Time's closing in on you every day. You get a little closer and a little closer. If you're alive by 2025, I'll be glad and I'll be happy for you. If I'm alive. But I think by 2025, between now and 2025, 2026, in around that area, I think we're going to see one hell of a lot of people die. Because they're dead serious about their eugenics program. No, this is a conspiracy theory. It never has been. It's plain in your face. You either grow up, stop fighting one another, and grow some gonads and say no, and stop complying with your own death, or you're going to find out you held that banker's hand right to the cliff. And if you have to still have that tool, that money, then we already know what side you're on. You're not on the side for the cure. You're on the side for your death. Because there is no but two sides now. You're either for the cure or for your death. Because the cure is you keep your freedom, you keep the life you know, and you make the world a better place for everybody so TFL can go away, so that divisions of genders can go away, so that people can re-educate themselves on how to treat one another like a human being again, so that people start having care for each other, so that they work together for the survival of their own society and for the world, so that their children, if they had children, and their grandchildren could grow up and work together. Nobody ever said you had to be a friend with everybody you work together with. Individuality says that, but adulthood says you know how to work with people you don't agree with, so what you don't agree with them? It's not a big deal. They have a right to their opinion like you have a right to yours. It's no big deal. Just means you associate on the job with each other. You be polite and kind to each other. You help each other out through the job. And at the end of the day, he goes home or she goes home and the other one goes home. And they hang out with people that are like-minded. This is what it's always been. See, things don't gotta change the way they're gonna change. We don't have to have another world war where the government's played y'all as a bunch of patsies. Because when they tell you Russia's behind this, BS! They're all in bed together. And they're playing you like a bunch of sorry little fiddles, puppets. And as long as you believe they're hocus pocus, they'll be able to play you like the fool you are. If you can't see the corruption, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. You got to start saying no to the mask completely. When they tell you to shut down, to lock down, you all come out of your home and say, up yours. You don't shut your businesses. You leave them open. And if some utility or corrupt government agency tries to step in and shut your utilities down, then I guess bloodshed will have to happen, won't it? And the people who shut it down and your corrupt city council and your corrupt mayor and your corrupt law enforcement that's trying to back it, I guess the revolution United States wide's on, right? When you start holding people accountable for their behaviors, you know, because I told you before, they done pulled the wool over your right over your eyes. We are in a republic. We've been in a republic, and that's what the United States, when it was created, was a republic. See, in a republic, your Constitution and your Bill of Rights were inalienable. They could never be amended or changed. I want you to look at the Constitution. You'll see this was amended, that was amended, this was amended, that was amended. And you know how they got by with that? Because they started using the word democracy and convinced you that democracy and republic are the same thing when they're not. See, in a republic, they can't change. They can't vote away. They can't vote away to change anything in the Constitution or Bill of Rights. They're not allowed to. It's inalienable, can never be voted on or changed. But in a democracy, they can vote and change your Constitution. Where do you think your amendments came in at? Uh-huh. See, it's a wordplay. They've been playing a wordplay in your media for years now, right in your face. And none of you ever questioned it. You just believed the lie. So when you believe the lie, you don't challenge the lie, you don't question the lie, then they can act on their lie. So the criminals up there pretending to vote, your lawmakers, the criminals who are in bed with the owners of the tool, them people that all live in mansions because they're being paid that kind of tool to sell you out, cause you to lose your country and cause you to lose what you know and die. And for the survivors, well, I hope you enjoy your prison cell size house under your total monitoring of 24/7 of a camera that you're screaming and whining about now. You ain't seen nothing. You let these suckers have their way and you'll be in a livable prison cell size house with a camera on you 24 hours a day. You'll have their nanobots, their everything in you. It's already got in you anyhow. For all you lab rats out there that run down and believe the lie and run down and get your jab. I hope you like it when the magnet sticks to your arm after you come back from getting your jab. And you take a magnet and put it to your arm where you got your jab and the magnet sticks to your arm. Take the magnet off that arm and stick it to the other arm and it falls straight to the floor. Try to get it, falls to the floor. Pick it up off the floor, put it back over where the freaking you got your jab at, and it sticks. Wow, amazing! Yeah, amazing my yin yang. Lab rat. You let them experiment around on you so they can turn you into a synthetic. They can load you with nanotechnology and synthetic shit. Monkey around with your DNA. Yep, you're an experiment, man. That's what you are. All of you people falling for this lie are part of their experiment. I hope you like being in a big lab where you're being experimented on because you live in something a billion times worse than one flew over the cuckoo's nest. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just had to get up here and rant a little bit because this is a topic that's, well, fires me up. I look at what's going on, and I look at what's going on, and it just fires me up. How do you get people to see the truth? How do you get them to acknowledge it? And how do you get enough brains to get these people to realize you got to stop fighting one another? We got to start standing together for the same cause. If you can't stand together for the same cause, then you deserve to walk over the cliff. If you have to be like high impact flicks, and you have to have that tool or you can't go on telling the truth, then you keep holding on to that banker's hand, Mr. Brian Young. Hold their hands tight. I know you got Rockefeller Rothschild's hands. Yep, you do. You got one of these guys' hands. He's walking along with them. And here, not for too long future, you're going to watch Brian Young falling and falling and falling and falling until he lands on them short, jagged rocks. I say, what happened to him? He wasn't smart enough to see that he just absolutely had to have what the people who were doing this to everybody, okay, he had to have that from them, their tool, their money. Regardless of what, he had to have that. And it was being used to take you out, not to lunch. And that's why it's called the root of all evil. Because it is the root of all evil. Connect the dots and every single thing goes back to these people. Everything. It's no accident. You're not running out of nothing. It's been man created. You're being lied to on a never ending scale. And you're believing the lies. You know, Mark Passio's statement, garbage in, garbage out, is absolutely 100, 1,000 times, a billion times correct. Okay? Can't get any more serious about that. That's absolutely correct. Garbage in, garbage out. And the reason our society is the way it is because they've taken garbage in. And garbage is what's coming out. When you stop taking garbage in, garbage will stop coming out of your mouth. Your behavior, your perceptions will change. When you get the real truth and you start opening your eyes, you'll see it. I'll tell you a couple of tidbits of things that I suspect you're going to see. You very well may see this lumber shortage lead to the excuse of paper shortage, which leads to the excuse of not printing money. So that they can try to introduce you to the electronic what they already have planned, which they want, the cashless society, which will really enslave you. Between the cashless society and the Tesla cars, they don't really need no more. They got you. They got you all bent over. You're not going to like it. And you can only cry and whine it yourself. So for all of you idiots who are running around with a Tesla car thinking you're so cool, I hope you enjoy never being able to travel again. I hope you enjoy a vehicle that will be programmed that will tell you when you can go, when you can't go. A car that they can shut down anytime they want. A car that they can program and tell you where you're allowed to go and where you're not allowed to go. I hope you like a cashless society where electric goes out, you can't access your funds, so therefore you starve to death, can't pay your bills. I hope you enjoy a cashless society if they decide that, nope, you're not allowed to buy but one of them and one of them and none of that, and none of that, but you're allowed to have that. They can just punch that into a computer, and when you go to buy the stuff that they don't want you to have, you ain't allowed to buy it. Because your social credit score, you're being punished. You might have burped the wrong way. You might have jaywalked. You might have sneezed in the middle of the night and disturbed one of them. You might have spoke some truth. Now we shut your currency out completely. Because we control you, slave. On your knees, slave. Do you like that ring? Would don't everybody in this room, don't everybody in this room, or everybody listening right now, don't you all love that name ring? That ring of being ordered, told, called a slave, and told what to do. Does that all make you feel all confident? Make you feel all comfortable? Because it's going to be something you might want to get comfortable with feeling. Because if you're not willing to fight back, then obviously that must be where you're going, right? Right? I mean, I'm just asking a simple question here. I mean, if you're not willing to fight back, then wouldn't that be what you're really wanting? You don't mind falling off a cliff for a lie? You don't mind being lied to because lies your new truth? Wow. It's just wow. So sad. But I guess, guys, I'm coming up to an hour. I just wanted to come out and vent a little bit about the stuff I'm seeing. And don't be surprised if in the not too long future you see citizens, people, starting to attack their doctors. And so, why would people start attacking their doctors? Well, I'll give you a reason why they would attack their doctors. Because the PCR test is fraudulently being used. It's being abused. It's being misused. You see, the PCR test was created, and one of the inventors, there was only two guys that invented it. One of the inventors Kerry Mullis, he spoke out many times and just conveniently died. The other one had already died, and he just conveniently died just before the invisible bug showed up. He got an award in 1981 for his test. This test was used in labs where they're doing research. And that's why he got an award for it, because it was a really good test. It was meant for labs where they do research. And he openly said that it looks for such minute stuff on magnification that it can never ever be used to diagnose a pathogen or a virus. Because anybody can be made sick that ain't sick at all. Literally, his words. And this is the foundation that the invisible bug was built on. Is this very test worldwide. Conveniently, after he's dead. That and the fact that I took the invisible bug back 31 years. I was literally able to go back 31 years of this being talked about. I even heard lyrics in a song in 2013 that literally mumbled the words of the invisible bug for 2020. Literally said them words in one verse. The name of the invisible bug 2020 was literally said in that verse. Not counting Fauci in 2016 and who was it, Tom something, I got it saved, was Tom something, a senator up in the House in 2018 openly said that there was going to be a in the Trump administration, and there was. And that was said in 2018. Matter of fact, the same year that you can find where the tests were being manufactured worldwide and shipped during 2018 for what was coming in 2020. So it's exactly that, planned. No conspiracy theory, conspiracy yes, theory no. Conspiracy fact. And people wonder why I act the way I act. I get tired of the lies. I get tired of the deception. I get tired of watching people not able to figure out their enemy when it's right in their face when I've been pointing at their enemy for them the whole time. I get tired of the scared and cowardness. I have to agree with the guy that they wanted to say was having a freak out. He had a right to be freaking out. I'd be freaking out myself at how stupid people become. His words was gold. Where the hell did all the real men go? What happened to liberty? He mentioned them words. What happened to liberty? Where did real men go? Why are we not fighting back? Why are you putting that diaper on your face? Yeah, because wood equals paper. Where do you think paper comes from? All paper products, cardboard, paper that you take to school in the tablet, money that you fold and put in your wallet. All paper products are created from wood, from trees. Even toilet paper. And for anybody who don't know that, the information's out there. I've known that for many, 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 many decades. And if you ever want to work at a paper place, like International Paper was a good company. I worked at there for a short time. They laid me off a lot because that's what they'd done to everybody. So I didn't keep the job because I needed something that was going to be there. But you had to go through you had to go through 2 interviews. You had to go through a physical, drug test, and then if you got hired, you went to an orientation where you spent 8 hours watching videos and lectures and schooling and taking tests, learning where paper comes from. And how they promise that for every tree they cut down, they're planting one. Yep, that was their model. That for every tree they cut down, they planted a tree. I mean, it's not a joke. You go in there and you look for pine 2x4s, or you go look for some cedar. Yeah. Well, them are just names. No, they're not. Pine comes from a pine tree. Cedar comes from a cedar tree. No lie. Look it up. Maple. You get maple syrup. You got a maple wood. Yeah, from a maple tree. Red oak. Some hardwood, man. Expensive wood. Wouldn't want to think cost that right now. Yeah, people don't stop to think about that. That's the reason I got paper shortage. I know you haven't heard of one yet, right? It's not on the list of shortage yet, is it? Don't worry, it will be. How could it not be? They're telling you that there's a lumber shortage. Don't you understand that if they tell you there's a lumber shortage, that's going to affect not just the construction industry, but the manufacturing of paper, cardboard. That's right, toilet paper. Oh my gosh, we already had a shortage of that before. Oh. I don't know how many of you people knew that, but I'm telling you, man, I'm not lying to you. I know what the hell I'm talking about. That would be correct. What Frank just wrote, yep, Mr. Grimes there, that would be a correct statement. That is what they want. That's a lot of people, don't you? Yeah. And it's so easy to happen because all of you people still want to keep fighting one another. And you want to keep following your orders. That's right. You're too scared to stand up for yourselves, right? Are you too angry at somebody else because they had a girl in their life and you didn't? See, you're all too busy hating on one another, just like they wanted you to. And it worked. People bought into the Kool-Aid, man. And if you keep buying into all the lies that's been fed to you your whole life, then you act on them lies and you believe the lies and you believe, of course, through individuality, you get to select what lie you want to believe. So I told people if I put them through a truth buffet line with 100 things of truth, or we'll just do 50 things of truth. 50 things of truth that all have been concretely backed up and proven to be all legit, a billion times truth. Can't get around it. It's 100% straight across the board. It's all pure, real truth, right? All backed up. And we got 50 things in this buffet line. And I'm going to allow everybody in the world to go through the buffet line, and they can pick one of each item. Okay? And I guarantee you, when I come out the other side, the majority will have 4, 5, 6, some 10, some 15. Every now and again, somebody will actually have one of each. But the majority won't. And when I say, why did you only select 10? Or why did you only select 20? And then their answer will all be the same. Well, because I don't believe the other stuff. Yep, because you don't believe. That's what you'll hear. And you know what you're really hearing when it's already been told and proven and concretely backed up that it's true? And you didn't select it because you don't believe it? And then you wonder, Why? Why we're in the shape we're in. We're in the shape we're in because you don't want to use critical thinking skills. You don't want to take responsibility for your own behavior. You get people want to say there ain't nothing. I said to people, all of us have to self-check ourselves. We all grew up in the same society that lied to us, all of us, from the time we were born. We all grew up around the television set and the music and Hollywood industry around their influence and the school system's influence. We all went through it. And there ain't none of us that didn't fall for the Kool-Aid. Because we were all born naive, every last one of us. And you only become educated as you grow up, and most people didn't become educated because you're only allowed a little grain of truth, of knowledge. All the other knowledge has been withheld from you deliberately so that you would not be aware of what your surroundings was and you would believe the illusion fed to you. No lie, fact. And they hate people to spill the truth. And why do you hate people to spill the truth? Because it scares you, makes you feel uncomfortable. You think what I'm telling you scares you, makes you feel uncomfortable. You wait till you see that I was right because you didn't do anything about it. You think when you see that I was right and now it's messed over your life or taking your life possibly, you're gonna start blaming me? No. I told you before, go look in the mirror. Because these people that are doing this, they get their power from us the people. But only us, the people, united as one, can take that power away from them. You have to start at the top, the root of all evil. You have to start at corruption. You got to start with the people who's financed all this and made it possible, the banksters, who failed you miserably and abused the monetary system, who had no right owning a monetary system of billions and billions of people. Monetary systems are something that should be in the people's hands, very tightly controlled, and you should never have a hierarchy. Never. There's no need for a hierarchy of different wages for different careers. There's no need for that at all. Never has been, never will be. Everybody deserves to have a good life. Everybody that does their part for all the things they want in life, okay, which don't even have to be a lot. You pick what you want to do that helps society, whether it's growing food, harvesting food, working in manufacturing, building something we want. You shouldn't have to do more than 4 hours a day per person. We got enough people, everybody joins in for the better of people. You don't have to have miles and miles of over-punishment in warehouses. When we have all of our needs met, all working together, then you can have lots more time off. We get short, a little low on this or that. We go back to work and make sure we have them. Okay, that's how that works. You make sure everybody gets the exact same amount of pay, regardless of what their career is. But everybody's wealthy. Nobody makes more than anybody else. Doesn't matter what your gender is. Doesn't matter what your race is. Doesn't matter what you pick to do for a living. You still get the same amount of pay as everybody else. You say, why would I do that? I would do that because the hierarchy has to go away. No human being is above another human being. See, real grown-ups work together for the survival of everybody. You would have a society where we have more technology than ever, and they want to lie to you and tell you you're more disconnected than ever, when you're actually the exact opposite, more disconnected than ever. Why do you think you're unsuccessful with keeping friends or making relationships? Because your communication skills have been sabotaged by the social engineering. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but I guess I'm going to get on out of here. I'm an hour and 15 minutes in. I was going to quit a little while ago, but I had to say that a little bit more.
But that's about what I want to get out. Okay, so for whatever it's worth, keep your eyes open. I suspect here in the not long future, you're going to see doctors come under fire by the public. Okay, after all, the medical establishments on that list to be destroyed as well, because they already have a brand new medical establishment designed that they want to bring in the Great Reset. And they won't need 99% of all of their medical workers anymore. Oh, they sure won't. They only need 1 or 2% of the medical establishment worldwide. The rest of you, by the way, won't have a job. But you are being Nazis. You're being great little Nazis, you nurses and you doctors and you LPNs at all your clinics. Yep, you're being great little Nazis. Following the orders and doing exactly what the Nazis did. Committing tyranny. Anyhow, I need to shut up or I won't shut up. With that, I'm out of here. You have a good one.